Hey guys. Um, excuse my parents, first of all. Um, it has been a long day, crazy day. So I figured I'd just do a vlog about it. Um, so today, my original plans were to, um, tile my back room. And whether it be, just like a mud room because my back door is back there. So my dog goes in and out onto the backyard where it's fenced, so she can go to the bathroom and play and run, whatever. Um, and we talked about making it like a. Hold on, fix my lighting situation. I'm not figured that out yet. Okay. Um, we've talked about making it a laundry room because then the laundry wouldn't be in the kitchen. But that's just a lot more money in construction. I'm not sure if I want to deal with just yet. So today I had it planned like for a while. I've had this tile and everything. I used my tax money to get it. That was my plan, was to take my taxes and buy something to do at the house that I've been wanting to do. And that was one. And there was carpet back there originally, and just where people come in and out of the back door, especially the dog. Um, a lot of time when it rains, it kind of water kind of comes in that way a little bit. Not like leaks in, but when the door opens, it'll set around the door and then it just drips in as it comes. So just really not practical to have carpet there. And that portion of my house used to be a garage, so it had concrete floor underneath. So all last night, my boyfriend and I, we cleaned out that room because my boyfriend uses it as like an office to do all his art projects and stuff and that he sells. And so we moved all his stuff out, and you kind of see some of that stuff behind me there. And so we cleaned it out. Um, the only thing we hadn't done is we hadn't pulled the carpet up. And it had started to pull up, so that was another reason. I was like, yeah, we should probably just put something else down besides carpet in here. Um, so my mom, who has done tiling before, said she would help do it. And I had asked her to bring a tile cutter because I knew that my room was like within less than a foot of being a complete, even, full square footage. So she didn't have one, but she was going to try to get one from the person she had borrowed to do her tiles in her floor room in her house. And so she had forgotten or wasn't able to get it or whichever. But either way, I told her it wasn't a big deal because when I purchased the flooring, I had asked the guy at the hardware store. I said, "Now how do I cut the tile? Like what do I do?" And he said, "Oh, well, we have tile cutters, and they're like $20." And I was like, "Oh, that's." I said I was like, "Oh, I might know somebody has one, and if not, I'll come back." So like it's not bad. I said, "I'm gonna spend like $300 on tile. The extra $20 was nothing." So, um, my mom gets here and we get in there and we get the carpet ripped out. We get the padding ripped out and pulled off the concrete. It was glued, and the wood pieces and the nails and all that stuff that was holding the carpet down. We got all that pulled up. So I got all that done. I sweeped all the concrete and cleaned it and all that stuff. So we're getting ready to do the tile, and we realized we need to get that tile cutter. Like my original thought was like, oh, I'll see if I can rent one. If it's less than $20, I can rent one. Or if it's $20 to buy one, I'm sure I can rent one for that or less. So I called Home Depot, and they said, oh yeah, it's gonna be like $50 for 4 hours. And I was like, well, never mind, I'll just go back to Menards because I had assumed Menards did not rent tools, which I guess they do. So I went to Menards. I found the $20 tile cutter. And my mom said it wasn't the same one that she had. This was more of a manual tile cutter, and instead of just like a blade cut. So we get this. We bring it home. We got a few other things that my mom had suggested I get, just like some sealant and stuff. And so we get home, and we start laying it down. Before we had put the mortar down, we were just kind of laying the tiles out, figuring out how we were going to lay the tile right and everything. And so Once we figured it out, we started laying the tile, and we realized, how much how many places of tile we were going to have to cut. So when we got to a point to where we needed to start cutting tile, my mom got the cutter out, and it was like, this cutter was, it's not even a cutter. That's like totally the wrong word. It had like it was supposed to score it, if you know what I'm saying. Like, it just had like a little thing that would scratch along the tile, and then you were supposed to press on it, and it would break. And it's supposed to break on that line that you scored. And of course, I guess really if you say scoring, it's more like it's supposed to actually make an indentation so that when you put the pressure on it to break it, it's going to break on that line. And this thing didn't do it. It literally just scratched the tile. Every time we would try to put pressure on it to break it, it would just break the tile. And I was just like, well, all right, that's 2 pieces of tile we wasted, and it didn't work. So my mom's like, here's the receipt, just take it back. She's like, well, I'll see if I can get the one I had, instead. So, and I told her, I said, if you can't get it, that's fine. Like I said, they said they had one at Menards for $20. This is the one they said they had, and it's the one I bought. So, we're gonna take it back. And so we got what we could laid out, and my mom's like, well, we'll just have to work on the outside, which is what off because all the outside pieces. She's like, we'll have to work on, we get a tile cutter. And my mom's getting ready to go on vacation for a little bit, so she wasn't going to be able to come back and help. And I was like, well, I'm sure I'll find somebody, or I'll take this back and get a little more expensive one or something, whatever. And so I was like, I need to take the tile cutter back, and I was going to do that. I was going to go back to town and take it, and then I realized the day that I paid my phone off, so I was like, oh, I'll get an upgrade. I have a 6S, and I was like, yeah, as soon as I get my phone paid off, I'm gonna get the X. And I've had that phone for like 2 years now. And so I thought about it because I didn't have time earlier. My mom's like, no, we need to get back and start laying the tiles. So I was like, oh, okay, And my boyfriend was gonna go out tonight, so it's like, yeah, I think I'll go back to town and I'll run to Best Buy and I'll go get my upgrade. And I never did. I'm still sitting here. I never went. I was like, whatever. Stray hair sticking out. So I didn't go to that. The store's closed now. Maybe tomorrow. So yeah, my mom we'd stuck the mortar in like a 5-gallon bucket. And so my mom's like, well, go ahead and clean that bucket out and clean off the tools and the scrapers and stuff, and we'll reuse it, what's left of the mortar later, to do the outside. So I went outside, and we haven't used this hose since we've been here, since it's been nice enough to even use a hose. And it's not even that nice outside. It's like 40. It's been like 40 degrees tops today. So it really was probably not a good point. Good day to do it. Actually, there was snow on the ground when I got up this morning, but once the sun came out, it was melted. But so I was having trouble. It was like I kept trying to hook the hose up, and it kept coming out the where the faucet is. And so I just assumed this hose, the steel was wore off, and I wasn't getting any pressure through the other end of the hose to wash the bucket out. So my boyfriend goes out, and he goes out and gets it cleaned out. And he comes in, and I didn't even notice. Like, I was just sitting in the living room watching TV the whole time he was out there. And he comes in, and he's like, oh, shit. And I was like, what's going on? He's like, there's water all over the kitchen. And so the spigot in my backyard broke and leaked water all in my house. And so I'm like, great. Like, couldn't get at least what I could do in a 24-hour period with the flooring done. And now my kitchen's flooded. It's fixed. Well, it's not fixed. We've determined it's just the spigot. Just can't use that spigot. All the water piping in the house can be used. No shut off for that spigot that we can find. We tried. We found one for the front of the house, but not the back of the house. But yeah, so I was like, okay, that's awesome. That's awesome. I've had a lot of past problems with water related things, and so it just anytime anything leaks, like I've had washers leak, I've had a washer leak multiple times, well, same washer I had for a long time leaked a couple times. Um, Leaks in the house, toilets backing up. I mean, anything to do with it, it just raises my anxiety level and stress level to its max. Like, I just am so done with water. Like, the last time not the last time, but the time, but not since I've lived in this house. But one of the last places I lived, we had a huge water break. And I lived in a townhouse. And I was upstairs. The bedrooms were upstairs, and the kitchen and living room were downstairs. And one of the pipes in the kitchen had busted, or something along that lines, and it pretty much flooded my whole first floor. Like it flooded at least 3/4 of the floor. And so luckily I was able to call the apartment complex and be like, "There's water." Like that's the only time I've been okay with there being a water leak. Because since then I've been a homeowner and I have to take care of myself, and I don't like doing that. I just don't have time to do it. But yeah. So sorry, watching my dog. But yeah, so that was the craziness. On top of just getting it all physically done, and then physically cleaning up the water and trying to figure out, it's a Saturday. We can't call a plumber on Saturday because they're going to upcharge you. So we're like, well, see if we can figure it out and hold off till Monday. And for the most part, we've determined the factor. So I'm just not going to touch that spigot until it's replaced or fixed or whatever. But yeah, that's the craziness for today. Oh, and yesterday I had to remove my nails, which was probably a good idea for tiling, but if you can see that green spot right there, yeah, that's fungus. So I had to remove my acrylic nails that I did myself, so I there's nobody to blame but myself. You can kind of see that nail is really far back in cutting. My nails usually not that long or that short naturally. So at some point when I had the acrylic nails on, I hit it and pulled it back from the nail bed, and that moisture from washing my hands or whatever got in there, and it caused a fungus. So, which happens. It's not a completely gross thing, but from what I've heard, the easiest thing to do is besides going to a doctor and paying a bunch of money, is just cut the nails back and let it grow out. You can't file it away. I went to the pharmacy today to get a refill, and I forgot to ask if there was like an over-the-counter like polish for fungus or something. But so yeah, it's just like let's keep stacking that shit up. On top of I've had a few health things that have me concerned, and I called my doctor and she didn't call me back, so I was just like, yeah. And they're minimal, probably fixable things, but it's just like one thing stacked on top of the other just makes me think, um, you know, just stresses you out when everything gets piled up against you. So, but yeah, just thought I'd give you a short little vlog, boring vlog. I'm sorry, but but yeah, just thought I'd shoot that out there. So, all right, you guys have a good night.